Welcome back! Why am I wearing a Tower of Terror hat in an Animal Kingdom video? Why not? Anyway, here are a few things that you may not know about the Animal Kingdom, particularly the area of Asia and Expedition Everest, the ride. It took a few minutes to track down some fun facts about some of the stuff out there that you may not know, and I hope you enjoy the video learning about this stuff. If you do enjoy the video, subscribe to the channel. Just click the little subscribe button. Please like the video. Hit the little bell if you want to be reminded when new videos are uploaded. And take a look at some things that you may not know about the Animal Kingdom. The Animal Kingdom is probably the most beautiful of all of Walt Disney World's parks, and there's so many places to hide things and so much history and stuff that is there. So in this video, I'm just going to concentrate on the area of Asia and the Expedition Everest ride to point out some things that you might not know about Animal Kingdom and this land that's very cool. Now, over at the end of Asia, there is the Kali River Rapids ride, super popular ride, and the Imagineers originally had designed the ride for the boats to go down the rapids through the walking trail back there, the Maharaja Jungle Trek, and specifically through the tiger section of the Jungle Trek. They thought that would be very cool to be able to just ride the rapids down through the tigers. Well, while they were meeting with one of the conservationists, said, you know that tigers are one of the only cats that like water, and they especially like swimming in water. And what happens if one of the boats gets stuck? Now you got a tiger problem. So the idea was scrapped. However, they did keep the original logo for the Kali River Rapids, which is the face of a tiger. You can see right there, that was the original design, and that's why they used the face of the tiger as the Kali River logo, is because it was supposed to go through the tigers to begin with. One of my favorite parts of this area of the park are the apes and watching them play. And you might not know that those apes right there, that is Murray and Harper. Yep, Murray and Harper. One is named after Bill Murray, the comedian, and the other is named after Harper Lee from To Kill a Mockingbird fame. There you go. Fun fact. So many subtle details to look for in this park. One of the details they do a lot of things about is expressing wealth for the villagers and the parts of the land. And this is just an example that this area of the land, the villagers are not wealthy. You see the Coke bottles up there? They've used Coke bottles to help wrap their electrical cords, specifying that this is not a rich area of the land. Also, another thing they do is you look for these photos all over. This is the Maharaja, and businesses will hang photos with the Maharaja to let you know kind of how the businesses are doing. The bigger the photo, the better the business is doing money-wise. And this has a fairly small photo, so this business is not doing oh so well. Here's something you might not have noticed. See that little shrine? It's the same shape as Everest and the Forbidden Mountain behind it. Look at that. It's cut out exactly in the same shape, that shrine. I looked at it forever, never saw it until finally I did. And you'll notice that people throw money, not that I'm advocating throwing money around the shrine there. This money is actually collected by Disney and given to Animal Conservation Fund and goes towards saving some of the wildlife. Now, the company wanted the Everest attraction to really focus on Everest, this big, beautiful mountain. But Joe Rohde, the designer, said Everest is not a pretty mountain. It's dirt. It's a mound of dirt, which you see there on the right-hand side, that little mound. They insisted that this be Everest. So the designer said, okay, you want Everest? I'm putting Everest all the way in the back. And it's just a dirt mound, like Everest really is. So basically, this really is, and a lot of people think that that whole mountain is Everest for Expedition Everest ride. It's not. Just that little dirt mound in the very back is actually Mount Everest. The other is the Forbidden Mountain, where the Yeti lives. So that's how the Imagineers got away with kind of saying, okay, you want Everest, we'll give you Everest, but we're going to keep it way back there in the dirt. Every Walt Disney World park has a time capsule, and right here at this same location, you may think that this is just some type of little structure, statue, decoration, but it's not. This is actually the time capsule in Animal Kingdom, and it's supposed to have lots of little goodies in there, like an original park map and some Yeti hair, well, yak hair is what it was really, and stuff from the very beginning of the designing of the project that's tucked away inside that time capsule that will be open sometime in the future. This is kind of fun. This building that's a restroom on this side has painted on the other side a sign that says the Yeti Palace Hotel opening next season. And you'll notice around the building there that there's building materials, bricks and equipment and stuff like that that they're using to build this hotel. Well, Imagineers come out here quite often and they change all that around. So watch each visit to see what changes are made. They'll come out, they'll put new equipment out, new building materials, stuff like that, because in their mind, if this hotel is opening next season, you need to see some progress in the building. And this is how they show that. See all that equipment hanging from the roof of that building right there? That's actually refurbished equipment that went on real expeditions up to Everest that's hanging up there. It's refurbished by a company that is actually in the business of refurbishing Everest equipment. And look closely. What do you see? What do you see? For Hidden Mickey fans, there's a Hidden Mickey right there. So here's an authentic bus that was brought back by the Imagineers in whole and turned into an ice cream stand here at Animal Kingdom. And if you look inside the window of the cab there, you can sort of see it in the seat. There's a big photo in there. This ice cream shop is doing real well because that's a giant photo of the Maharaja. So next time you're there, go take a peek inside that window and you'll see that same photo that we've been seeing hanging at various businesses and the size of that photo, which is equivalent to how well the business is doing. And from what I hear, this has the best soft serve ice cream on property. Now you'll see all those paintings on the bus and stuff like that. There's lots of different paintings signifying stuff inside the Animal Kingdom except for one. There's one thing that's not in the Animal Kingdom, and here it is right here. Look, it's a mountain. It's a mountain with a giant waterfall and a rabbit inside. Ooh, Brer Rabbit. There's a tribute to Magic Kingdom painted right there, hidden on the bus. Here's a strange thing you might not notice unless you look high. See this tree? So at the very top there's little palm fronds, I guess you call them, and the rest is not a palm tree. It's a strange hybrid. It's part Asian tree, part Florida palm tree, and they're not sure how this hybrid happened. Rumor is, I don't know, that it was struck by lightning and fused a couple plants together and it made this hybrid tree. So it's one of the really odd original trees on property that's a hybrid of Asian tree and Florida tree. Now over here at the entrance to Expedition Everest, coming right over here, Disney's into nomenclature, which is exact naming of properties. Well, people call this Expedition Everest, but you see right under it is the Legend of the Forbidden Mountain, which is the full name of the ride, and that's one of the only places you can see the full name posted. Now, around here, you'll see these little flags, these different color flags. Those are prayer flags, and the idea in Asia is you hang these prayer flags with your wishes on them and prayers that things will come true. And sort of as they wear down, the prayers come true. Now, the richer people put those prayers onto stones and their wishes onto stones. And when the stone wears out and is raw, that means that the wish or the prayer will come true. And this is what those stones look like that you can find over there. Now, a couple of these are interesting. There's one real stone, one real prayer stone. The rest are all manufactured. This is it right here. And this was put here by the Imagineers. It's a prayer stone to watch over the park and keep the park healthy. The other stone right next to it you'll see is the Yeti, and that's Joe Rohde, the Imagineers' design for the Yeti, right there protecting the mountain. And you'll see this design throughout the land at different places as well. Now the building closest to the mountain has an odd paint job you see there with the red stripes and the black stripes. Well, you see on the side that's closest to the mountain where the Yeti lives, it's red, all red, because they believe that painting it red will ward off the monster. and any corners of the building that stick out that can be seen are painted red as well. If the corner can be seen by the mountain, it's red. You'll see this throughout. Anything facing the mountain is colored red. Next to that, you'll see some black lines painted on the building, and they believe that those would kind of soak up the sun and help insulate the building through those black lines. Another way they've shown wealth over there is that the more wood you have on your roof, the better your business was doing. So this business is doing really well because look at all that wood on the roof. So let's hop over to the expedition ride itself and take a look at a few things you can see inside the queue line that are hidden. Now if you look real close on this office here, on the board, right above those two little white stripes on the left, there's a hidden Mickey. It's hard to see in the lighting, but that little blotch you see there is actually a hidden Mickey right there on the board. So look for that when you go through the office. Now, over here on this wall, there's this little ladder, and that is an actual ladder that the Imagineers brought back. It was a family heirloom of an old woman that lived over there, and they told her they would build her a better ladder to get up to where she lived if they could have that, because they really wanted an authentic ladder. So that is an authentic ladder. It was for people who like live above their shops. A lot of the people live above their shops over there, and that's why when you walk through the queue line, you see all this living space that's built up above the queue area up in there, because that's the way that a lot of people live. Now, back outside in the queue line, a lot of people wonder, why do these Yeti statues have red on their face? And it's much like the painting of the walls that we saw in that building. They believe that if you put red on their head, they won't come alive. And they wanted the Yeti not to come out of the mountain. They don't want those statues to come alive. It's sort of to ward him off. Have you noticed these bells hanging up here in the queue when you're going to get on the line? So all these little bells that hang up there, if you ring them in the correct order, they play It's a Small World. You have to ring them in the correct order, but they will play It's a Small World. Now back inside in another part of the queue, they have this area set up like this little snack shop. And you'll see the snack shop is very small, not making a lot of money. And oh, look at there, it's the Maharaja again, in a very small little photo that's hidden up there, which is to signify that this business owner is not doing all that well. Really hard to see in this video, but look right there, another hidden Mickey. It's actually a stuffed Yeti that's wearing Mickey ears inside this cage. Look for that when you go by. Now you'll notice these magazines that are hanging up top. There used to be more of them, but there were monks that came through and got on the ride, and they were very upset when they saw those magazines, and they ripped a lot of them down. Those are actually the equivalent of Playboy in America. Those are Asian Playboy. And here's just, I wanted to show this. This is the painting of the Joe Rohde Yeti that you saw outside on the rocks. Now this guy back here in the hall, you see this photo that's supposed to be a doctor or, I don't know, scientist or archaeologist, something. That's actually one of the Imagineers that worked on designing and creating the ride right there. Now inside the queue line, you see lots and lots of cases that have a lot of artifacts and different little things about the Yeti and the land in there. And you'll notice in one of these cases here, there are a bunch of masks. And the masks in there are all real masks that were used in rituals. There they are. Creepy little masks. They're the real thing, except for one of them. And the one that's not real is the Yeti right there, because they don't believe in that culture that you should make anything for the Yeti, because it's kind of like building something for the devil. But those are actually all ritual masks that were used in rituals. Now, right outside as you go towards the ride, you see all these framed photos. These are actually the villagers and people over there in these countries that the Imagineers went and researched with, that helped them find things that make the ride and the land so authentic. So it's kind of a tribute to them. Just before you board the ride, you see all this equipment and packs and stuff over there next to the train tracks where the ride stops and you get on the train. And all of that equipment is actually the exact amount of equipment that 34 people would need to climb Everest, which just happens to be the same amount of people that a train on expedition holds, is 34 people. So there you go. And speaking of the train and the ride, I thought, why not end this video with a point of view from the ride itself? So let's ride Everest. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned some stuff. If you did enjoy the video, hit the little like button. Give it a like. Also, subscribe to my channel and click the little bell so you'll be reminded when new videos are uploaded. And I hope to see you again here on the channel soon.